Hey, 555ers, Andrew here. Hope you're doing well. Back with a popular segment here on the channel, the I Bought the Cheapest. And today we have an interesting watch, a watch that, as you'll find out, I've been interested in for a long time. The original first generation Planet Ocean. This watch was introduced in 2005, and it is a staple of the Omega line now. And in this video, I'm going to show you some of the inside stuff that I feel like is often missing in these kind of watch stories on many other watch channels. The drama, I guess, the agony and the ecstasy of actually trying to find a good example of a watch within a certain budget. And I do this all with my own skin in the game. I'm just an independent channel here, no sponsorships or anything. And so what's happened is I finally wanted to get a Planet Ocean. And I had to sell off some pieces. That will probably be a separate video, what I sold to get this. But this will be the whole journey of finding what was, at the time, the cheapest Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean in 42 millimeters with the black and white dial, so no orange on this first generation Planet Ocean, on eBay. And it was from Japan. And so there was a variety of things that happened that could have easily gone wrong, and some things that did go wrong. And I'll talk you through the whole thing, and we will also take a close look at the watch. I'll talk about my interest in the watch, why I finally decided to pull the trigger, and if it holds up in real life, if now that it's on my wrist, if I like it as much as I was hoping I would. So stay tuned, and we will get into my journey buying the cheapest Omega Planet Ocean 42 millimeter first generation off of eBay. Alright, well, let's talk about my interest in this watch first, and then I will get into what I paid and how I got it. First of all, I don't know if any of you guys even remember this, but there was a magazine, maybe it's still being produced, I don't buy it anymore, but it's called the Wristwatch Annual. And way back in 2006, I have a copy of it. I don't have it right next to me. I remember looking at the new Planet Ocean, Omega's next level dive watch, replacing the venerable Omega Speedmaster Professional 2254.50. So the classic Seamaster with the sword hands was being replaced by the new Broad Arrow 600 meter depth rating Planet Ocean. And it was a very exciting watch, and it harkened back, of course, to the older Omega 300s. We have more direct homages of that watch now, but at the time, not only was it throwback vintage, it was also trying to do something very modern. And so obviously it made a big splash, and now the Planet Ocean line is huge, ridiculous. There's like 100 variations of the Planet Ocean. I don't actually think that's a hyperbole. I think there's actually 100 variations of the Planet Ocean now that are out there. And so it's kind of interesting to go back and take a look at the original. And so that's what I did. I wanted to see the original. And so I got online, and the cheapest places by far to find a Planet Ocean are on eBay. Now, anyone who's done any watch collecting knows that eBay is kind of like I don't know what's the right word. Someone insert a movie reference down below for what eBay is the equivalent of for watch collectors. I don't know, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom comes to mind. It's not a great situation necessarily. There's a lot of risk, especially if you're inexperienced. And so it happens to be true that I've been looking at the Planet Ocean off and on for over 10 years now, as I was just describing. And that's why I felt comfortable wading into eBay and seeing what I would find. And what I found was that even compared to auction watches sold in the United States, so individual private sellers selling their Planet Oceans on eBay, there were dealers in Japan selling it for even cheaper. And there are some merits to dealers in Japan, so let's talk about that. One of the big pluses of dealers in Japan is that their photography of their watches tends to be excellent. So you get a really close look at the watch. This is something that can be frustrating if you're trying to buy from a private seller. As you know, not everyone necessarily, if they're new to collecting or if they don't care about their watch, takes great care to show every flaw. Well, the meticulous Japanese are good about that, and so I knew what I was looking at right away, and I knew what I was getting into. And what I saw with this 42 millimeter Planet Ocean was a number of things that were concerning, but not the end of the world. First of all, it didn't come with any box and papers. Now that's mainly a concern because the Planet Ocean has been faked and faked well. Hey guys, I'm working on editing this video and I realized a glaring omission in this part of the story, namely that the watch had intact and correct looking serial numbers, and so I was not concerned about this being a gray market watch. So then you have to really trust the person who's selling the watch, and that was another risk I kind of decided to take here. The Japanese watch dealer had a less than 100% rating, so definitely a risk. But it seemed like most of the bad reviews were the result of the watch not arriving in functioning order or some kind of problem with the order, not with inauthentic watches, which led me to look really carefully at this watch. And having seen and handled the Planet Ocean in the past, this was definitely an authentic 42 millimeter Planet Ocean. I was most interested in this combination with the black bezel and the white painted indices on the original Planet Ocean. Has a matte dial with white painted indices. It really is a striking combination, and so I decided to pull the trigger. So I've got my phone here just to make sure I get the price right, but basically out the door what I was looking at for this particular Planet Ocean, which I purchased at the end of January, was an out the door cost of $2,156.40, and that was with free shipping, and that was with the watch on sale 10% off. They had a great record. It appeared from their feedback for fast shipping, and we did have fast shipping. However, let's get into the unboxing. When the watch arrived, it arrived quickly and it needed a signer. Now, I was at work and my wife was at home, and my wife, of course, had no idea what I was doing. She never does with this channel. Hi, Alyssa, if you're watching in the odd chance. I know you're not going to ever see this, but I love you, hon. Don't watch this video. You won't like it. The post office came to the house and wanted Alyssa's signature, and they also wanted import fees. And so she rejected it, and it ended up getting orphaned at the post office, and I had to get over there. When I did get over there, I had to pony up $120 for import fees, and that was not something that I've ever had to do with a watch that I've bought from Japan before. So that was a real drag. I don't know honestly exactly why I had to pay custom fees this time and not other times. Maybe it was the dealer, I'm not sure. So that was immediately a ding, because I went from quite considerably less for this Planet Ocean, $21.56 again, up to about $22.80, which is creeping into around the $2,500 mark, which is where you can easily find good examples of the original generation Planet Ocean here in the States. So anyway, so I ponied up, they handed me a box, and this is what I found. So the box was well wrapped, but inside of the box there was a tiny and very thin paper box, and there is the Planet Ocean just wrapped in bubble wrap. That's just abominable. And there's the watch. As you can see, the first thing that I noticed, unfortunately, was not a positive thing, which is the AR coating had a ton of scratches on it. So that was something that wasn't shown in the pictures, but I anticipated it being a possible problem. And yeah, so that was the unboxing. Not a good unboxing, actually, a pretty abysmal unboxing. Now, fortunately for me, as you know in the channel, I care about the actual usability of the gear and not just the stuff that it comes in. So that was not a priority for me, and I was hoping for better for sure in terms of how that watch was wrapped, but it was functioning normally, and I quickly found that it was keeping good time. So I think I just dodged a bullet basically with that really awful packaging. Well, now that I've talked about the risk of buying from a seller with less than perfect ratings and the fact that it resulted in a pretty awful unboxing experience, and also the watch has pretty bad AR coating, you're probably wondering what else is wrong with it. Well, the good news is nothing really. The bracelet on the watch showed some stretch, as you could have seen in some of the pictures that I showed, but it was sized for a gorilla prior to me receiving it. It was easily sized for somebody with an 8.5-inch wrist, so I had plenty of extra links, and I was able to size the watch perfectly for my wrist. I really like how this watch wears on the wrist, and it's been keeping outstanding time. So aside from the AR coating, really the condition of the watch, I would say, is quite good. It retains a lot of the original sharpness on the case. The dial is in good condition. The loom is excellent. The clasp is excellent. So I'm going to wrap this up because my furnace over here is freaking loud and I want to go to bed, and I've been waiting around long enough. I want to hear from you if you think I did well with this Planet Ocean purpose, or if I was an idiot, an old collector making the same old rookie mistakes. You can let me know in the comments below either way. And I will keep you updated on this Planet Ocean as I continue to wear it and enjoy it. You can expect a comparison to some other watches in my collection coming up soon. And as always, please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, I would love it if you hit subscribe down below. Welcome to 555 Gear. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you soon. Take care, and cheers. Hey, hon?
They are both shops. This is a clock shop, and this is a clothes shop. You can kind of, it's got a lot of shoes, coats, little clothes, and dresses. And then this, it's basically just watches, and the rest of it is like clocks. Some that can go on tables, others like grandfather clocks, and most of them just hang on the wall. So.
Awesome job, hon.